Today we're working on Psalm 100. Psalm 100 is used quite frequently to vanquish negative influences. It's also traditionally a prayer for Saturdays. But today we're going to use it for victory against all odds. The way we work psalm magic is very simple and very effective. We take the psalm in question and we speak it out loud all the way through once without stopping. We call this an incantation. Then we go back through that same psalm and we consider each verse in turn, and we search for the hidden occult meanings that lie within each verse. We try to apply the wisdom that we find there to whatever the issue is that we've brought to the psalm. And in doing all of this searching, digging, finding, and applying, what we are in effect doing is taking the magic seeds that we discover there and planting them in the depths of the fertile grounds of our minds, where they take root, they grow, they blossom forth, and then they bear fruit after their kind. And that's exactly what you and I are going to do together right now with Psalm 100. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. Know ye that the Lord, he is God. It is he that hath made us, and not we ourselves. We are his people, and the sheep of his pasture. Enter into his gates with thanksgiving, and into his courts with praise. Be thankful unto him, and bless his name. For the Lord is good, his mercy is everlasting, his truth endureth to all generations. Nice to have a brief psalm, isn't it? Lots in here, though. So let's think about what your situation is that you might have brought to the psalm. Let's apply what we find here to that situation directly. It says, first of all, make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. The lands are like the countries. Countries represent overarching thought forms. And making a joyful noise is a way of disturbing those thought forms. If you're making the noise unto the Lord, what that is telling you is that the disturbance is to disturb everything that's not like the Lord in your situation. Now, what is the Lord? The Lord is the singular power in all the universe. It's the life force. It's the one and only substance, the one and only power, the one and only presence. And since there's one, there's nothing that can oppose it. And this is why psalm magic is so powerful, is because we orient ourselves to that force. And that force, which is pre-gender, it has no personality like we understand it. It is the force of life itself, and it cannot be separated from us, and we cannot be separated from it. So when we turn to it consciously and we make contact with it in our conscious minds, then we have at our disposal all of that power. And we're saying, make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. So all of these thought forms, especially the thought forms that have something to do with this problem that you've brought to the psalm, are now going to allow themselves to be disturbed, allow themselves to be shaken up, so that the truth and the will of the infinite can replace this problem. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. Now, there's nothing wrong with singing. I love singing. Everybody loves singing. And if you feel like singing with your voice, physical singing, that is absolutely fine. But we're looking at this as a magical exercise. So singing in this regard is the way that you use your spiritual voice. It is the way that you name things, that you call upon things, the way you describe things, the way that you talk to yourself. Now, if instead of speaking to yourself with negative thoughts and upset and fear and trepidation and whatever other kinds of things you're using your inner voice or even your external voice in regards to this problem is, now we're saying you want to come before this presence with singing. That means that we are turning our ability to communicate unto this one and only power and using our voice to lift up the vibrations of this situation. And again, like I said, the voice can be your physical voice, but mostly this is talking about your internal voice, the way you use your mind. Know ye that the Lord, He is God. So the Lord being God, meaning that there's one, all power. Think about that for a moment. All power. It is power itself. And this power has the power to do anything. And so if we are becoming at one with this power, in reality, if this power is for us, nothing can be against us, including this problem. So just rationalizing that out in our minds, know ye that the Lord, He is God. So since the Lord is God, we don't have to fix this problem ourselves, because our best thinking got us here. Even when we try our best, we fall short because we are limited here. We haven't assumed the fullness of who we are as souls, so we get tripped up by our own egos, by our own personalities, by our own programming here. But none of that matters. If we try to solve this problem ourselves, we may make some progress, but we also may really mess it up. But if we go straight to where it's talking about here, know ye that the Lord, He is God, if we go straight to that power, nothing can stand in our way. Nothing but success is assured. It is He that hath made us, and not we ourselves. It's such an important line. This is an important thing for us to remind ourselves. We aren't self-made. You didn't make yourself. So therefore, you can't be arrogant about how wonderful you are. If you recognize that you, as a soul, are an extension of this goodness that is infinite intelligence, which is all good, then you are all good. And this is all powerful, so it didn't make anything junky in you. So anytime you think of yourself as less than, or unable, or not good enough, or junky, you are in effect being arrogant. That is arrogance. It's so important to understand that's what arrogance is. Recognizing that you are a force to be reckoned with is just being clear that you didn't make yourself. So you are here to live a very grand and glorious life because that's what you were created to do. It's the self-made us that's the problem, not the us that was created by this force. So recognizing that we didn't make ourselves gives us access to all of that power. The idea that we made ourselves is the problem because the parts of ourselves that we made is less than the part that was made for us. And the other thing about that self-made ego is that it's all illusory because you can't make yourself separate from infinite intelligence. You can only believe you did. You can only do it in the realm of a fantasy or nightmare. But in reality, this problem's already been solved. This problem was solved the second that you noticed it. But the part of you that you made yourself is holding the solution in abeyance. So as soon as you can surrender that idea that you made yourself, and then you can accept the fact that infinite intelligence created you, and that you're an extension of that, then the solution to this problem becomes completely available to you because the solution was created the moment the problem was created. And to take that even one step further, that's even not completely true because the problem wasn't even created from the point of view of infinite intelligence. But within this world, it was created, whatever this problem was. And so the worldly solutions for this problem are available to you as soon as you allow infinite intelligence to do its will instead of you doing your small will. We are His people and the sheep of His pasture. So being like a sheep, have you ever been around sheep? They're amazing. And I'm not saying that just because I'm an Aries. But sheep are amazing creatures. They really are. They are beautiful creatures. And the shepherds of old loved their flock. They just loved them. They dedicated their lives to their flock. And the relationship that was forged between the sheep and its shepherd were very deep. This, of course, is just a symbol that infinite intelligence is going to take care of you just as well as a shepherd takes care of its flock, and do it in a way that's perfect. Should make you feel wonderful. So if somebody uses that term sheep cheap in a way that is denigrating, don't allow that to sully that image for you, that symbol for you, because that is a beautiful symbol of how well loved you are, how well cared for you are, and that infinite intelligence wants nothing but good for you. Nothing but good for you. Enter his gates with thanksgiving. It's telling you how to get into heaven. Isn't that cool? You got the key right here. It just gave it to you in one line. How do you get into heaven? Thanksgiving. And what is heaven? It's a practical thing. It's the solving of this problem. Won't it be just pure heaven when this thing is solved, when this thing comes to an end or the resolution is realized? How do you get there? Through thanksgiving. Being grateful. Being grateful for infinite intelligence. Being grateful that you were created. You know that line that a lot of kids use on their parents, I didn't ask to be born, as if being born is such a horrible thing. In a way, it is a horrible thing to be born in this world because this world is so illusory and this world is so far removed from the truth. But once we learn how to see this world with the right eyes, this world transforms itself into looking a lot more like the world that we were created to inhabit. And that's what they call heaven in the Psalms. And heaven is not a place. Heaven is a state of mind. Heaven is a realm of perception where you see everything as perfect. And once you're willing to see the perfection in all things, perfection must manifest because that's how it works. That's Magic 101. If you can change your thought truly about a situation, that situation has to change. And so heaven is entered through thanksgiving. So finding things to be grateful about. Now, you don't have to lie and say, I'm grateful for this problem. You're not grateful for the problem. We know that. But you are grateful for its resolution, even if you can't see it yet. In the New Testament, Jesus did that all the time to speed up the manifestations. It's unfortunate that the New Testament has been co-opted by such zealots because now everybody just avoids it. But there's so much wisdom in there about practical magic. Just watch what that character did every time there was a miracle. Always thanked it for happening before it happened. And that's the trick. That's the secret to getting what you want, is being genuinely grateful that it has occurred and being grateful to the power that allowed it to occur, which is the one power, the one force, the one substance. Into his courts with praise. And what does praise do? Praise increases your good. Thanksgiving gets you in the door, and praise increases your experience of what you have once you're in the door. So thanks and praise. Thanks and praise. Praising simply means enthusiastically giving thanks. Just really acknowledging how wonderful something is. And it's because it's not, a lot of people do gratitude lists, which are great to do, but it's like an assignment. I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that, I'm grateful for this. And that's not it. It's got to really be honestly felt praise and gratitude, enthusiastic gratitude about what it is, sincere, enthusiastic gratitude. That's what changes things. That is the power that changes things. Be thankful unto him and bless his name. Now, you giving a blessing to the name of the infinite, that doesn't mean bless you, Yahweh, bless you, Diana, bless you, whatever the name for God is, Kernunos, whatever you happen to be using. That's not what we're talking about. The name of something in magic means its nature. I am thankful for my life. I am thankful for my soul. I'm thankful for my mind. I'm thankful for the truth that is behind all of this illusion. And once I know the truth, I will see things differently. I'm thankful for all of the laws of infinite intelligence. I'm thankful for the love that I have in my life. I'm thankful for real things. Those are the names of God, the nature of infinite intelligence, the nature of the infinite. That's what you're grateful for. You're not grateful for some abstract God name, whether it be in Hebrew or Latin. For the Lord is good. His mercy is everlasting. It's two places you find this, in the Psalms and in the fairy tales. That's why I like both of those things so much. It's because they talk about everlasting. happily ever after. That's basically saying, for the Lord is good, his mercy is everlasting, meaning when you are on the beam of this psalm, you will live happily ever after, is what that says. Happily ever after is not in the future, though. It's always so important to understand ever after is now. Eternity is in the moment, the present moment. And as soon as you think about ever after as being a long time, then you're thinking along the lines of the ego, because that distracts you from where that ever after is happening, which is right now. There's no waiting. For the Lord is good, his mercy is everlasting. The mercy of God, sphere number 4, mercy, Jupiter, all of that Jupiterian energy. No matter what's happened, infinite intelligence judges you as worthy. Infinite intelligence judges you as good. Infinite intelligence judges you as innocent. You are the recipient of everlasting mercy. And mercy also means the solving of your problems. It means the ending of your fear, the ending of your worry, the ending of your torment. It's absolute freedom. And the other name of the infinite on sphere number 4 that is being invoked here when it's talking about mercy is truth. Truth exists on sphere number 4. So truth, the archangel Sakiel, everlasting mercy. That's what you get. So it's not just solving this one problem, although that's why we've come here. But once you solve this problem, you've taught yourself how to live in everlasting goodness, the goodness of all of the wonderful qualities that exist on sphere number 4, including infinite truth. For the Lord is good, his mercy is everlasting. His truth endureth to all generations. So truth again, sphere number 4. His truth endureth forever. That means right now. If it doesn't look like mercy, it's not true. You know that line, I can't remember what movie it was in, but it's a great line that if you're not having a happily ever after, it just means the story's not finished yet. Because the story always has a happy ending. And if you're not happy, it's just that the story isn't over yet. So what we can do is we can get this story in your life to be over, in that whatever the problem is, it can come to an end. It can come to a conclusion, and you can get right to this ever after, which is in the present moment, where you see the truth instead of the lie of whatever the situation is. And it says that his truth endureth to all generations, means the next time something like this comes up, it's not going to affect you. This is a perpetual thing. This problem can be solved in perpetuity so that you don't have recurring problems like this anymore. Instead, you have recurring solutions. And this is just your new way of living your life, is mercy to mercy, glory to glory, truth to truth. One moment at a time, living happily ever after in the present moment. So you just keep coming back to this psalm each and every day with whatever this problem is, until you get that very clear sense that all is well. You'll get a sense of peace. You'll get a sense of peace and certainty about the situation. It's like a little click. And when you feel that little, or sometimes big, click, you know the spell has been cast and you don't have to cast anymore. And you can move on to something else. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. Until next time, blessed be.